Hi, hey, hello, and happy Monday. Welcome to our Monday Conscious Conversation. I am Kirsten, and this is Tristan, and we are Haseya.
Hello, community. Happy Monday.
Yeah, what is up? How are you? What are you moving through? What are your intentions this week? We'd love to hear from you, hold you, and lift you up in prayer. Hmm.
Absolutely. We're happy that you're here. We want to hear from you. We want to have these conversations. We want this to be interactive. We want it to bring value to you. So that may be that you let us know what's up so that we can address it. We can play in that and we can explore these things together. This is what we're very excited about. So we're glad you're here.
Absolutely. And with that, the support and the intention of this space, we love this conversation because it's all about supporting you and your journey. We call them conscious conversations because we are expanding the mind. We are pushing our belief systems. We are pushing our limitations. And we're allowing ourselves to look at our life, the outpicturing of our life from a different lens, a new perspective every Monday.
Yeah, this is our favorite. This is
Yeah.
our favorite. What a way to explore this together. First of all, we get to explore these things together and see what comes up. And we've been doing this for, gosh, how long? A year and a half. We've been having these conversations and exploring whatever's coming up for a while now. And it's been so illuminating and so wonderful and so rewarding. So today we're talking about resistance.
Yeah, we are. Resistance. Krista and I were laughing before we got on because I can't remember the name of the song at this point in time. But there's a 90s song, forgiveness. It's like, it's more than saying sorry. And all I can hear in my head is resistance. So we know what I'm talking about. I hope you're giggling. I hope you're laughing. So we are going to talk about, resistance. And sometimes there is a little bit of forgiveness that needs to happen in there in order for us to transmute and move beyond. So just jotting down when you hear the word resistance, what instantly comes up in your head?
Mhm.
Most of the time there's something instantly that we know that we're resisting. Maybe it's taking care of our body, maybe it's looking at our budget, maybe it's our spiritual practice, maybe it's embarking on the inner work. I mean, whatever that thing is for you, just jot it down, be honest, be authentic.
Oh my gosh. Think about yes, and just think about the four areas of your life and something that you like resist within them. And that very well usually means it's something that's happening. It's something that is present. And we don't want it to be present anymore. We don't want to see it. We don't want to feel it. We don't want to experience it. And that is the resistance, right? You feel it in your body, you'll however you react, whether it's a nausea, whether it's a tension, whether it's like this revolting like fear, the heart rate increases, getting really aware of what we are deeply resisting within so all the aspects of our life.
Absolutely. And once we get that snapshot and we can kind of look and we can be honest, then we can start to tackle and navigate the resistance. But it's not until then when you're talking about the sweat and the buildup in the body, very much for me that is expressed or is experienced in avoidance. It's like what I can see in my mind is like the stack of, papers in the corner where we find all the other things to do other than to address that, that one thing because it just feels so overwhelming. Like we're never going to complete it or that we're not able to conquer said task or goal.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean, let's break this down. Like, what is resistance, and why are we talking about it? Like, why is it important to know what we're resistant of? We first law. We're talking about universal law all the time because it is the axiom in which that creation is created. It's how mind informs the expression, mind informs the manifestation. And so resistance is very important because what we resist, will persist. Okay. Because we give it so much energy and for it to not exist that we are informing its existence and we are informing the continuation. And it seems like sometimes it's like this immortal, like my girls were talking about this like immortal flame yesterday as we were playing in the fire. And so I just see this like flame that will not go out, and it's because we've created like this demon almost within ourselves of what we are feeding as being this horrible experience and something we have such resistance to, and we have the nervous system, reacts to it, and we will do anything but that. But what do we keep having? It keeps happening. It keeps experiencing. We're experiencing it. We're experiencing it, and we're fighting it the whole damn time. We're fighting it the whole time. And how do we dig into that and surrender into that, Kirsten, and allow for it to be a lesson and something that we can actually move through?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you hear that, you're like, okay, great. So everything I'm resisting and I'm pushing away is just persisting because I'm unable or unwilling to look at it. Yeah, it can be a little disheartening, but it also can be an invitation to remember that you are in control and you get to direct your energy the way in which that you're desiring. So
Yeah.
when you want to have a different experience, we have to show up differently. We have to do things differently. We cannot continue about as these habitual beings doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting for the same outcome, right? What is that? It's like insanity. That's a definition.
Mhm.
So, ways in which that we can start to tackle it is first looking at the thing that we're resisting, sitting with and asking our question, what's actually going on there? Am I afraid of failure? Am I scared? Am I worried about what's on the other side? What comes up for you? Why am I resisting it? If we don't know, that's okay. But just recognizing what your why is and what we're committed to, right? I am committed to an experience of financial abundance. Okay, great. Say the mental and vibrational equivalent over here is that we are taking care of our finances. We're paying every bill on time. We're working on the credit score. And these are very linear, just examples for you guys to begin to conceptually understand what we're talking about. Doesn't mean A equals B here. But if we're doing these things in order to have this financial experience, okay, now I need to recognize I didn't pay those bills. I waited 6 or 7 days in order to take care of that. What is happening? This self-sabotage resistance of what's going on. And there's two parts. One is the experience in which you've created within your body, your data, if you will, as a software, as a computer that tells you how to show up, how to act, how to respond to stress, how to be, how to react to any and all stimuli, right? And when we're sitting here and we're saying that we want to be different, we want to show up differently, we want to embody a different mental and vibrational equivalence, we're stepping into new territory. It's like going to embark into the West. Like we have all these shows and TV shows where it's like absolute chaos and everybody's in survival. That's what your body thinks is happening. It's what your brain is communicating. I don't know how to operate successfully. I don't know how to operate within peace. Is literally freaking out.
Mhm.
So you, as the captain of the ship, the person that's in control, gets to take a breath, step into the spiritual practices, and be like, okay, I know I'm worthy of this. I know I'm committed to this. And then we set these parameters in our day, in our month, in our week to show up in accordance to not combat the resistance, but to accept it, to lean into it and say, okay, I recognize that this is a pattern in behavior and I'm going to commit and do something different. The second piece of this resistance that shows up as well is the unfoldment of our life. We have, even if we're clear, even if we're committed and we're set up, this is what I want, this is what I want to experience. We get so zoned in and focused on what we think that is, that we miss the mark in our day to day when we're desiring to experience wholeness and fulfillment. And a beautiful example of this is house hunting. So my husband and I, we've been looking for a house. We've been desiring a place. I had a number in my mind of what I thought would feel good as far as land. We had found a property that was amazing. It was beautiful. It was, everything that we thought, but there were all of these other, tick marks of things that weren't a hell yes. They were a hell no. Didn't really like them, but this is our only option. This is the only thing that's presenting. So I feel like this is probably it. Releasing it, letting it go, releasing it, letting it go, surrendering into practice and just being open. And then all of these other properties started to present themselves. Was like, oh, well, how does this one feel? How does this one feel? How does this one feel? And it's just a reminder of the infinite possibilities and opportunities that are there if we're not so white knuckled in resistance of this has to be it. I have to have this thing. I have to have this person. I have to have this opportunity. My life has to look like this. So those are just, two ways in which we can look at resistance and how we can begin to tackle them. But, what does that look like day to day for them, Tristan, and how they can, move beyond and, reclaim being the captain of their ship?
Yeah, we have to be in practice. We need to be that observer of, what's going on within our mind, what's going on within our thoughts, and what's going on within our body. And our spiritual practice is how we start to make that connection. We start to be able to actually tap in and understand what's going on within us. Because when we jump out of bed, pick up our phone, jump into the external world, grab breakfast, drop the kids off, get to work, we are constantly only tapped into the external, the world out there. And then what we allow it to do is determine who we are and what we feel. So creating this daily practice and being able to be in observance and really ask ourselves, and like I just instantly felt like the stomach clench up, right? Like that stomach clench up when you recognize and you're in tune with your body and you can actually figure out, oh my gosh, like I'm in resistance to this. Like my body just tightened up, my stomach clenched up. There's something wrong. It's not a hell yes. Okay. It's a hell no if it's not a hell yes. Okay. That's getting getting really clear about like what works for us, what doesn't, by listening to our body, understanding what's going on within our mind, but creating a practice and understanding what it is that we're wanting. Just like you said, what is it that we're wanting to experience? Well, I can't become that equivalent match, Tristan, because I've never experienced it. Absolutely. There are a lot of things that I claimed that I wanted that I had never experienced before. And it took me a really long time to experience it because I didn't know how to feel it until I was able to continue to take off these layers that had me in resistance to all the other experiences and able to tap into what I truly desired, tap into being able to use my imagination and my visualization and take my body on board and say, well, it's not exactly that I'm desiring, it's this feeling. Okay, well, if I've never felt it before, this is the only idea I have is that I need more money, or I need this relationship or whatever. But really, truly, you have to get authentic with what it is you're wanting to experience. What does that mean to you? Because all of it's meaning, everything we're resisting, we're putting meaning on it. What's the meaning, So what's the meaning we're placing on this experience that we're wanting to have? So getting able to figure out what you're making the source of your abundance, your love, your peace, your joy, because a lot of times we're sourcing things out here. We're sourcing things in certain experiences. We're sourcing things in certain people. We're sourcing things in money. And that's where we end up experiencing that being the heaven, that being the hell, because we've placed our power outside of ourselves. So we've got to bring back in that source back in here and allow ourselves to be the source of all of these things. Allow that higher mind, higher creator to be the source and play with the experiences we want to have. So then it was, well, if this is my idea of this, if I had this, what would it feel like to me? What would it feel like to me? And you play with that in meditation. You play with that in visualization. You allow yourself to fully feel that, what that would be like for you. And you're dropping the meaning of that being it, that being the source, and you start to embody that feeling right there more and more and more and more and more and more, because what we've been doing, and bringing it back to why this has anything to do with resistance, is what we do with more resistance is we're feeling that, we're embodying that, we're thinking about that. It's in our body. We're informing it constantly. We're at the vibration of that which we don't want, because we can't even get past our declarations being well, I don't want to experience this anymore. And it consumes our mind. It consumes our creative energy. That's why we get into practice. We start figuring out, feeling into what that meaning is, that it's going to take us back to these belief systems we have. It's going to take us back to this identity that we hold of ourselves, and we need to do the identity shift. We need to do the work. And then we're shifting into what I just explained about feeling what we do want, and dropping the meaning when we have resistance over even opening the bank account with one eye, like, oh, dang it, like, I don't even want to look, right? And it continually proving, oh, what is that meaning? Well, I'm desiring to feel financially free. I'm desiring to feel financially abundant and wealthy and successful. That means I'm not. That's a meaning. Oh, yep. All right. What do I need to do here? Right now, I need to shift my mind. Right now, I need to shift my mind into all the ways that I am abundant. I'm abundant because I just spent $5,000 on all of these beautiful things and food and all of these things that I love. That has been abundant. So what I'm saying is if there's not that more than this in my bank account, I'm not abundant, right? So you pay attention and you get your mind right and start feeling and getting into that higher vibration of abundance immediately, and take responsibility. Where are you putting your energy? How are you, what you spend your money on and your time in is actually your highest value. So really dropping in and just being super accountable. And I know that got really windy, and I don't know if that was super clear, but it comes down to understanding the meaning of what we're making things mean, and that's why we're resisting it. That shows us our commands, our limiting beliefs, our identities. The resistance is because it means something about us. It means something about life. It means something about others. Being able to see that and shift that and get into actually being able to feel what we're desiring to feel more, feel better now, getting into that vibration, informing that, and allowing that to be what we're informing it, instead of informing the resistance and the things that we don't want, because we're going to keep doing it until we learn. We're going to keep doing it until we don't need to experience it anymore. That's the truth. We're going to keep experiencing it each level, each time we're about to expand again, right? This is how we develop. So if we resist, we're not learning. If we resist, we're not digging in and surrendering to what we need to let go to get to that next level. And that's plain and simple what it is. We got to lean into it. Long story, but hopefully you pick it up.
Absolutely. There's so much beautiful points in that. When Tristan was saying, when you're doing the work, how you become the observer and you can do the identity shifts and things. If you're not actively doing that, please just get into practice. There's a lot right now, and there has been probably for the last, I don't know, 5 to 7 years, at least within my field, where everyone's talking about manifestation, what I bring into my life. We've said this before and we'll say it again. You are a master manifester. You're doing it right now. It's happening right now. You have been doing that. You are the creator of your life. You are the axiom in which creation gets to move through. So instead of hyperfixating and focusing on everything that you're wanting to change or what you're wanting to feel more, just start somewhere and get into practice and just open yourself up to something bigger than yourself. And I promise you, if you commit to that, you will start to experience shifts in your life. The weight that you feel on your shoulders, the heaviness that's in your heart is going to start to move. It's going to start to, break down, and those shackles are going to shake. And eventually you're going to set yourself free. And you're going to get to this point where you're going to be able to be the observer of your life. You're going to be able to look and be like, holy friggin' shit, this has been going on forever. And I'm so over it. I'm done. When Tristan's saying you'll get to that point, sometimes it's a knowing, like instantly. You've achieved the next level. You've conquered the lesson. I mean, whatever you want to call it. And other times it's a month has gone by and you recognize like you're not in that pattern of like shame anymore. You're not in that constant state of suffering. You're like, wow, I feel better. Like I'm not finding myself having all these conversations with people about how my life isn't the way that I want it to be, but I'm waking up and the first thing I'm doing is like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this body. I'm so grateful for this bed. I'm so grateful for my partner if you have one. I'm grateful for the autonomy of my life if you don't. I mean, whatever it is that you're just
Sounds like you were in my shower this morning.
right. I mean, and then that's the journey, right? That's what like the work is. There's deeper levels in which you can be held by practitioners. That's what we do here, is to help you be able to get to that point so you're not navigating the air quote darkness alone, that you have help when you're beginning to illuminate these things. But you can start right here and right now, and we can start to let go of those resistances. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be existing, let me tell you.
Absolutely. It's so beautiful. And the more that what we focus on is what grows. That's what it comes down to. The resistance, it just means that's what we're focusing on, right? And so what we're focusing on is what we're growing, what we're creating, what we're giving power to and energy to, shifting and doing the things that's a daily practice of us feeling these things in which that we want to feel. We are the ones that create that. That is an inside job. That is a mental, emotional state. It has nothing to do with if everything goes right today. If my boss acknowledges me, if I get that raise or that bonus, then I'll be rich. Then I'll be okay. If I don't have any debt, if the kids, don't act up today, you guys, none of that should be determining who we are and what we're feeling every day. We have to do that. We have to get into that state every day. That's that practice. God, it's a practice. That's why we use that word. But doing more and more and more to feel better now, feel that abundance. Do what is it that makes you feel abundant? Like sleeping in the lingerie, getting in the silkies, going out for coffee. What is it that makes you feel abundant? Do it. Obviously, like make good, you make your good choices and do the things, but just feeling into what feels good, how we feel these things more and more and more. And we start with it in visualization and in meditation and in that practice and with our breath and what we're informing deep in prayer, and then getting to do more of it on the day to day, and watch things shift. Watch things shift by just shifting what you're focusing on and what you declare that you are.
Yeah. What a beautiful reminder this morning. We love you guys so much. We hope that you've received these words, this intention, and you just allow more beauty, more spirit, more source to flow through you today, this week, through this season, for the rest of your life. We love you.
We love you. Have a beautiful day.